weekend, Spirit Airlines announced that they have officially collapsed. Not good, very bad. In fact, in response to that news, Ann Coulter, a conservative who cheerled neoconservative wars of the past, said the following: If it was high fuel costs that was the final death knell for Spirit, caused by a pointless war that has left everyone worse off. I agree with her wholeheartedly on that post. Now, to be fair, Spirit had been struggling for other reasons for years, and we'll get to that in just a second. However, it is the shortage of jet fuel and the increased prices as a result of that shortage that finally just killed Spirit Airlines. Now, the budget airline attempted to merge with JetBlue back in 2022. However, a year later, the Biden administration sued to block that merger, which I think was the right decision. And then in 2024, a federal judge shot down the merger entirely. Now, the judge stated at the time that the elimination of Spirit would harm cost-conscious travelers who rely on Spirit's low fares. The airline industry, the judge continued, is an oligopoly that has become more concentrated due to a series of mergers in the first decades of the 21st century, with a small group of firms in control of the vast majority of the market. Now, fast forward to just a few years later, doesn't even matter that the merger didn't go through because Spirit has collapsed as a result of the cost of jet fuel. So let's fast forward to what we're dealing with right now. The Iran war made the situation a lot worse for Spirit, according to the Wall Street Journal. And get a load of this: Spirit was paying an extra $10 to $15 million each week in jet fuel prices. So that'll do it. That'll do it. Last week, the Trump administration weighed a $500 million bailout for the company. No bailout for American consumers who are paying the consequences of this war for Israel. But when it comes to industry, maybe a bailout, maybe a bailout. But here's what the White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett had to say about it. Take a look.
We're aware that because the merger between JetBlue and Spirit was canceled unwisely by the Biden administration, that Spirit sadly was on the ropes.
In the statement Spirit released explaining why they were shutting down, they said, quote, "The sudden and sustained rise in fuel prices in recent weeks ultimately has left us with no alternative." Are other industries also at risk of collapse, or other major companies, due to this energy shock?
Well, don't forget that the Spirit Airlines was Chapter 11 twice because they basically didn't have a business model that was working. That's right, and the other airlines are still operating.
Nice. So you're gonna blame the Biden administration for the real reason why this airline company collapsed, which was the cost of jet fuel. You're gonna tell me that spending $10 to $15 million extra each week due to these, exorbitant jet fuel prices had nothing to do with it? You're gonna blame freaking Biden? These people are pathetic. You guys got goaded into a war that doesn't benefit the American people, that destroys the global economy, and you did it at the behest of a foreign country. So just, for the love of God, just be honest about it, okay? You should be able to say it with your whole chest. You should be proud that the United States is a puppet of a tiny little irrelevant country in the Middle East. Just say it, just be honest about it. That's the reality of the situation.
So these are not leaders.
No, they're not, they're cucks. Yeah. That's what they are.
And what is this? The buck doesn't stop here. It's not our fault, it's Spirit Airlines' fault, it's somebody else's fault. It's Joe Biden's fault, it's Jimmy Carter's fault, it's your grandmother's fault. But it's definitely not Trump's fault and definitely not Israel's fault. Now on Spirit, I won't miss them. They were a very crappy airline. And did I take them every once in a while? I did, because I didn't have a choice. And because I don't have a lot of money. And people who stop me at the airports are like, oh, what are you doing taking commercial? Bro, commercial, I'm a coach, man. I'm in 31D, bro. So like I would take Spirit and I would regret it every time. But a lot of people will miss Spirit. You know why? Because they didn't have any other choice. It was the cheapest airline. It was the only way they could get somewhere. But now they don't have that anymore.
That's right.
By the way, if I was Spirit, I would sue Israel. I'd love to know in the discovery process and in the depositions, how much did Israel make the decision to go into this war? And because that costs your business $15 million a week. Why do you have to bear Israel's costs? I think that would be a super interesting case. It's not like you can't sue other nations. People sue Iran and other Muslim nations all the time for terrorism and how they have to give them money. That's part of how we freeze their money all the time. So I know, yeah, you could beat up on Muslims, but don't you dare sue Israel. I think they're nuts if they don't.
So as I mentioned earlier, the Trump administration was considering a $500 million bailout for Spirit. They ultimately decided against it. Now it is worth noting that the administration's decision not to provide a bailout was influenced, at least in part, by other industry executives. So airline executives, including United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby, argued to Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy that Spirit should be allowed to fail. Industry officials argued that other airlines would recruit many of Spirit's employees. Yeah, sure. You're gonna hire all of the employees from Spirit, please. Look, these other airlines are salivating at the fact that you're gonna have less options as a consumer. And as a result, if you absolutely have to fly somewhere, you're gonna pay their inflated prices, because now less options mean they can raise their prices and there's nothing you can do about it. You have no choice but to buy the fare for whatever airline is left. Now, that doesn't mean I'm in favor of the bailout. However, the bailout wouldn't have been necessary if we didn't start a war with Iran. But we started a war with Iran.
No, the other airlines love it. Are you kidding me? It reduces their competition, and that means they could charge you more. And they're gonna say, look, they went out of business because they didn't charge you more because of our rising jet fuel prices. So now we have to charge you, and they will. There's no question about it. And when you pay more for your plane tickets now, thank Israel every time for keeping Western civilization safe, right? Picture this, it's midnight, you're lying in bed, scrolling through Shop TYT, of course, excited to buy that new Dragon Squad snapback you've had your eye on, but your wallet's on the other side of the room, Then you see the purple Shop Pay button, which has your payment and shipping information saved and ready to go. That seamless checkout experience is thanks to Shopify. They're making it so easy to buy your next piece of TYT merch. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US, including ours. Shopify gives you that leg up on the competition with hundreds of beautiful, ready-to-go templates to express your brand's unique style. Tackle all those essential tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics, and expand your brand reach with built-in marketing and email tools. Super helpful. And I already mentioned that awesome purple Shop Pay button. It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. See fewer carts go abandoned and more sales go with their Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/TYT. Go to shopify.com/TYT. That's shopify.com/TYT. And JetBlue, by the way, if Biden had let him merge. No, now we might also have lost JetBlue if they were allowed to merge. Spirit might have dragged them down and ruined them as well. So the reality is, no, things are only gonna get worse. Your prices are going to be higher. But no, we should not bail out Spirit. Let's try capitalism for a change. Why do we constantly bail out the richest people in the world? Okay, you tried an airline company, it didn't work, you lost your money. That's a sad day for you. I care about the employees. I hope that we can help them get new jobs, but I do not care about the owners of Spirit Airlines. And no, I'm not taking money out of my pocket or your pocket to pay some billionaire for a business he bankrupted. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.